Gemini, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Gemini love reading. In this Gemini reading today, we are going to take a look at your romantic person of interest and how they really feel about you here at the end of February 2025, beginning of March 2025. Then I'm going to get you some advice from the universe on how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person. So let's get started. Looks like they're ready to talk. So what is going on here with Gemini's person of interest? How do they really feel about Gemini at the end of February 2025, beginning of March 2025, please? Hopefully, yours goes better than Libra and Aquarius went. I've had to cleanse the room after both of those, and I've had to go outside and just get some fresh air and take a minute to myself after both of those because it's been funky. And like rule number one of what I do is observe the energy, don't absorb it. And I got a problem with that, hence all the crystals I have to keep around me. And it's like that got to me on those. So I'm hoping like hell we got better news for you. On the bottom of the deck, underlying this person's feelings about you, Gemini, Three of Swords. This is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. The third energy is not always a romantic third party, although it can be. Sometimes it's just someone nosy sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. Friends, family members, neighbors, coworkers, somebody that's not you or them butting in where they shouldn't could be that third energy. Working too much could be that third energy. Partying too much, like watching too much television. There's a whole number of things that can be that third energy, but we have something external to each of you involved here causing a problem. Right underneath that heartbreak and sadness that they're feeling related to you, I get the Nine of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. This is a singles energy. It's a step back from the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is where like we combine our lives together. We start building a life together. This is a step backwards from that. This is like independent energy. This is physically single by myself. It's not always I get this card when someone actually is single. Sometimes I'll get this card when a person's not single, but they present themselves in the physical world as if they're single. That could be how we're getting to Three of Swords here, heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. It's looking like that might be what's going on here. Either that or they're heartbroken because they're single now. Yeah, I got 10 of Pentacles in the background. That's looking like progress. Like that's probably underlying their feelings, wanting progress on something. But this is going from being single to being combined together physically. It's also Virgo energy. This is most people's goal in like the physical reality, like maximum stability, abundance, prosperity, combining together of lives. And happiness tied to that. I have the Sun right behind it, the Leo Major Arcana card. It's the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Like really hard to get a better card than that when that's what it's talking about. The other thing that it could mean is it is the card that comes immediately after the moon in the sequence of the Major Arcana. When the moon's out and it's dark outside, things can be hidden in the dark. Secrets can be kept. And the next step is the sun comes up and now it's not dark anymore. And all that stuff that was hiding in the dark gets illuminated. It gets exposed and we can see it now. I'm hoping that's not what it's telling me. I'm hoping this person is heartbroken because they're not together with you right now. And what they're underlying, what they're wanting here and how they're feeling about you is combining lives together and happiness being associated to that. Page of Cups is right behind that. This is news and messages and communications about love and emotions. It can be lovey-dovey messages. It can be an apology. It can be expressing feelings. It's not a fully developed energy, so this might be like beginning stages of a love offer. It might be at the phase where they're thinking about it or talking about it or like contemplating offering their cup of love. It's also a page, which is not a king. It's not like the fully developed energy. It's like it's emotionally not fully developed, emotionally not fully mature kind of an energy. Could just be beginning stages of something. It could be that getting back together here or combining together, I shouldn't say back together, but combining together and happiness might require some kind of a communication here. It's also possible that it might require someone else to get out of the way. That's underlying their feelings for you, Gemini. What actually came out in this person's feelings toward you: King of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. King of Swords. This is either Aquarius or Gemini energy. This is a very smart, logical, rational-minded, thinking kind of a person. This is a decision-making energy, but the King of Swords does not consult his emotions when he makes decisions. He's emotionally detached when he decides. He usually throws emotions out the window and doesn't decide based on how anyone feels about it. This is about looking at the truth and the facts of the matter, looking at what's right in front of me, what can I see, what can I verify, and I'm going to decide based on that and that alone. Now, that can sometimes feel like a person who's emotionally distant or emotionally detached, or even cold and calculated and cunning. It can be any of those type of things here. But in terms of how they're feeling about you, I got this real, like, no feelings kind of an energy. Now, the King of Swords, it's not like they don't have feelings. All human beings have feelings. This is sometimes a person who is throwing their emotions out the window because they don't like what their emotions feel like right now. I do have heartbreak and sadness. Right here is the underlying energy of their feelings. Central to their feelings toward you, Gemini, Two of Pentacles. This is Capricorn energy. Twos are choices, and this is a choice between two physical things that I can't have both of at the same time. So it's like weighing my options, looking at the pros and cons. Like, do I take this one or that one? Do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? It's the water is all wavy in the background. That's rough, choppy emotions. The person's standing on one foot, so it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, not fully decided, off balance kind of an energy here. It's an energy of balance, but it's more about like trying to maintain balance or get balance back once it's been thrown off. Some sort of a choice. On the negative end, this can represent juggling two people. I don't know if they're feeling like you were juggling two people, or if they're somehow trying to rationalize juggling two people. What's really interesting is I'm looking at this person's feelings, and I get King of Swords right at the beginning of it. Like, swords are thinking energy. It's thought energy. It's this, you can't think feelings. You feel feelings. You think thoughts. So it's like these don't match. And then again, like, this is not a feelings kind of an energy. This is like, I can't make up my mind. I'm not fully committed to something, and my emotions are off in the background. So I think they just don't want to hear their emotions. I don't know if they're juggling two people or if they feel like you are juggling two people. I do see like single energy and combined together physically energy here. It's and potential for an external person to be involved. I don't know if they feel like you're juggling two people or if this is them juggling two people. But the final card in their feelings is the Knight of Cups. Now, we saw the Page of Cups. That's like the first stage of, thinking about the love offer or talking about lovey-dovey stuff. This is going the next step. Knights are action takers. So this is actions toward love and emotions. Moving forward with romantic offers, romantic gestures, trying to like advance a cup of love, advance a love offer, move it forward. So, again, though, that seems a little confusing. It's almost like there's too many ways I could take that right now. So it might be a case if it's one way for you and another way for the very next Gemini that comes behind you to watch this. It may be different layers to the onion, so to speak, like different layers to the story here. So I'm going to keep on going, and that might clear itself up as we go along. But let's take a look at what this person is actually thinking about you here. It's the end of February 2025, beginning of March 2025. Got one flip upright here. I don't read reversals, so whenever one comes out upside down like this one did, I just turn it right side up. I normally don't notice it, but I noticed it that time. But if I'm not supposed to turn it right side up, it is abundantly clear and nothing happened there. underlying this person's thinking about you. Knight of Swords. Again, knights are action takers. This is the fastest moving knight in the deck. This is someone who rushes forward and takes this really decisive action on something. The problem is, it's an energy where they normally don't think it through all the way first. This can be like spur of the moment, like spontaneous, impulsive kind of an energy. A lot of times this will be someone who rushes off and does something without thinking about it at all first, and then they don't stop to think about it until after they've already like done it. It's like it's too late at that point. Sometimes this gets called the narcissist of the deck. I got this rushing forward on something, probably not thinking about it. And then behind it is the Four of Cups. This is Cancer energy. This is about not being fully emotionally happy or content with what they have right here in front of them. And they keep daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that they believe might lead to their happiness and fulfillment. The 3 cups that they're staring at represents being together, being united. It can also represent third party because we got 3 cups of love right here. So this could either be like, when we're together, I'm not fully happy and I'm thinking about this other person that might make me happy. This could also be they're thinking about this third party thing and they can't get that other person out of their head. Whether that means they think you have a third party and they can't get that out of their mind, or whether they themselves have a third party and they can't get that person out of their mind. Either way, they've already done something here, and it's probably based on them not being happy. 10 of Swords. It led to an ending. 10 of Swords is Gemini energy. This is a swift, painful ending. Sometimes it's an ending you don't see coming, which is why the swords are in the person's back. Sometimes this is an ending in betrayal, hence getting stabbed in the back. But no matter how you slice this one, it's an ending. It's like I did something that I didn't think about first, and an ending results out of it. And I don't know if this is they're not happy with that, or if they're not happy and taking action on this other cup. That's probably what has happened here. I got logical, rational, maybe rationalizing my feelings here, rationalizing juggling 2 people, and then going from thinking about lovey-dovey stuff to acting on lovey-dovey stuff. And that may have happened like, boom, spur of the moment, based on not being fully. It's so weird. Like when I'm looking at their feelings, I got King of Swords, and now I'm looking underneath their thoughts. And sure, it starts with the thought energy, but then there's this feeling of like something's missing, something's not all the way what I want it to be. And then we're right back to swords again. Interesting. Wow, this is also interesting. I just noticed in their thoughts, all of it is major arcana, like all 4 cards. First one is the Tower. Next we have the Hermit, the Chariot, and the Moon. The Tower is a foundation rocking event. This is a massive shift in something here. This is a game changer. Once the Tower happens, nothing is ever the same after that. This is usually the collapse of the relationship. Sometimes it can be the collapse of the belief system a person has, like this mental model of the world I've been operating from, where I believed things worked this way, or I believed this situation was this way, and now something has happened to shatter that belief. So this is like the collapse here. Like something important has came apart for this person. Oh man, oh man, oh man. It might be that they got severed here. It might also be that they're trying to maintain their composure and not show their emotions, or not feel their emotions even. I've got the Hermit as their next card in their thoughts. This is Virgo's major arcana card. This is withdrawal and isolation. Sometimes this means communication shuts down between the 2 of you. If it's not completely shut down, it's probably going to be dramatically different than it was, like fewer and farther between, shorter and sweeter, or maybe not sweeter, but shorter. This is an energy of someone who gets forced inside themselves to do soul searching or deep inner reflection or deep contemplation. The hermit is looking inside of himself for what adjustments do I need to make about myself so that things move forward the way I want them to, so that I can move forward the way I want to. Something big has happened, and this is not a voluntary energy. People don't just wake up one day and go, oh, I think I'm going to go into hermit mode today. No, something happens and it forces a person there. But that's them doing soul searching on something. They're off balance, probably because the collapse of something here. And it looks like it's tied to moving forward romantically. And there's this anti-feelings undertone to it. Next, I have the Chariot. This is Cancer's major arcana card. This is the fastest moving energy in the deck. I've still got this Knight of Swords, the fastest knight in the deck. What comes between these is the Eight of Wands. It's somewhere in the middle of the speed here. This, at its core, it is about the underlying will to overcome the obstacles and the problems and the challenges that are in the way. It's like getting past all of that through just sheer willpower alone and moving forward very quickly in success and victory. But there is kind of an imbalance present in the card, or the potential for like an internal conflict of some kind. I have the Black Sphinx over here and the White Sphinx over here. That represents the dark shadow side of a person, and this represents the light side of a person. And the driver doesn't have any reins to steer this thing with, so he uses willpower alone. And if the driver is not in alignment, if both of those pieces of himself aren't pulling in the same direction, this thing's every bit as stuck as the Hanged Man and it doesn't go anywhere. Or worse yet, those two different parts of himself will pull in different directions and tear him in half as he moves forward here. So there's this underlying will to overcome something. There's a choice connected to this. There's romantic movement, advancement, and there's also like catastrophe related to this. The final card in their thinking is the Moon. This is Pisces energy. It's fear, worry, and anxiety from uncertainty. When the moon's out and it's dark outside, you can't see the full path in front of you. So it's easy to start getting a little confused and like, wait a minute, is this the right path for me or not? Like, was this the path I was even supposed to be on to begin with? Did I make a wrong turn? Should I go back the other way? Like, that level of uncertainty can make you have fear, worry, and anxiety. But when the moon's out, it's dark outside and your eyes can play tricks on you. So it can be an illusion. Things can be hidden in the dark. Secrets can be kept. There's this desire to overcome something, but not being able to see something at the same time for this person. So it's weird because the King of Swords like sees, he knows what's going on. Like, this is the person that knows everything that's going on around them. So I'm not understanding how they're feeling like you've got a secret. That doesn't make any sense. Like, what makes sense to me is that they have a secret. Or maybe there's just something about you that they don't know and they're trying to overcome some problem with you, like probably the collapse of the relationship, and they're doing soul searching to figure out how to get past it. But maybe this is them having all the fear and worry and anxiety because they don't know, and they don't know if it'll even work. It's their intentions toward you here. What are this person's intentions toward Gemini as we move through the end of February 2025 into March 2025, please? Let's get one more. What are their intentions? Thank you. It's uncertainty for sure. Underlying their intentions. Six of Wands. This is Leo energy of recognition. So this is either them getting recognized for something, or it's them in hermit mode doing some contemplating and some soul searching and coming to some sort of a recognition themselves, either about you, about the connection, about themselves. Whatever it is that they're recognizing allows forward movement to happen. So I've got two cards out here of successful forward movement happening, or at least the will to have that happen. What they're wanting to move forward, like the wand is a desire energy here, and what they're wanting to move toward is Three of Cups, which is, like I said, either reconciliation, being reunited and celebrating, or being together to begin with and celebrating, or it represents a third party thing, because we have Three Cups of Love in the picture here. So I don't know if there was something that they didn't know, that they didn't see. I guess it is possible. Like, I'm trying to lay all the possibilities out here because this is a collective reading. It might be one way for you and a different way for someone else, but it is possible that this person has feelings for you and didn't know that you were with somebody, and maybe feels like you led them on a little bit. It could be that. But it's also possible that this person was juggling two people and was making advancements and keeping that a secret, and then it came out. And maybe I want to like overcome this catastrophe and still maintain some element of a secret. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I got Knight of Pentacles behind it, and that's the slowest moving knight in the deck. So I've seen all this speed out here, and now I've got the opposite of that. This is the slow drip. It's like molasses, the really frustrating energies. It's when you're going through the Knight of Pentacles, it's almost impossible to tell it apart from the Hanged Man, like where things are stuck and nothing's moving. Like this feels like nothing's happening. Now, it can also represent a person that knows what they're supposed to do, but doesn't do it. He's got the Ace of Pentacles, the seed of abundance in his hand, but the fields are empty because he hasn't gotten off his butt and planted the seed for some reason. Now, likewise, he knows he's not supposed to just sit here and do nothing, but he's doing that anyway. So it can represent a person who knows what they're not supposed to do and does it anyway. Maybe they got recognized for having a third party. Yeah, I think that's what's happened. I got the Magician back there. This is the Master Manifester. This is the person whose thoughts and actions shape the world around them to be the way their will wants it to be. I've got a will energy out here. I've got the thoughts. I've got the actions, and like the actions toward love and emotions. I've got a secret. And I've got a Tower. When I look at what their actual intentions are toward you, Gemini, I get Temperance, Judgment, Two of Swords. Temperance is Sagittarius Major Arcana energy. So I got 4 Major Arcana there and 2 more here. So 6 cards in a row have been Major Arcana. Like this is heavy, heavy energy here. This is something that they probably is impacting them big time. Temperance can be patience. It can also be reconciliation. In tarot, water represents love and emotions, and here the love has been separated into 2 different cups, and the angel is like combining it back together. So it can be like recombining 2 people that have had a tower between them and the relationship came apart, and their intentions that is like, I'm intending to be patient. I want this successful forward movement toward reconciliation. To me, there's 3 reconciliation cards in the deck. Temperance, the 3 of Cups, and Judgment, which is coming up next here. So reconciliation is all over their intentions with you. Judgment is the most powerful decision card in the deck. We started off with the King of Swords, like the chief decision maker, and then here's the Major Arcana oomph behind it. this is passing a final verdict and judgment. It's a final decision in a relationship. This is either A, we're calling it dead and over with and there ain't no coming back, or B, we're trying to resurrect it. We're trying to call it back from the dead, bring it back to life. We have the tower here. It collapsed, and this is them trying to be patient, trying to reconcile, trying to recalibrate everything, trying to resurrect this. And I think that might be part of what they're in hermit mode about. And this might be like, will they or won't they? Will they take me back? Will they not take me back? It could also be that that's why we've got the tower happening, was because they were juggling two people and now they're like soul searching about what to do about that choice that I'm not fully committed on. In fact, the next card in their intentions is the Two of Swords, another two, another choice. This is Libra energy of a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet for some reason. The person on the card's blindfolded, and that represents like sometimes that I don't have enough information to decide yet, which is why I haven't chosen. Sometimes that blindfold represents blinders that a person has on. In other words, there's something they don't want to see, and not looking at it and facing it is preventing a decision from getting made. Sometimes it's just a stubborn ass energy of like, I'm choosing not to choose. I've already decided I'm not going to choose. Sometimes it's a person who feels like it's not my choice. I don't have the choice. You have the choice here. You pass judgment. You have the ability to resurrect it and blend it back together. And that's what I want, only I'm powerless here. But that doesn't really jive with the Chariot being right above it. Like the Chariot it's willful energy. Like this is someone who doesn't know their own strength most of the time. And what they want to move forward, what their will is aimed at here, is moving forward romantically. It's entirely possible that that's what they want really bad, and they have the will to try to do that, but it's still ultimately your decision and not theirs, which could be where this uncertainty or this fear, worry, and anxiety from not knowing what your choice is going to be, not knowing, will you take me back or won't you take me back? It could totally be that. Now, it could also be if this person was juggling you and someone else, and that's what collapsed the whole relationship, and they're trying to get past the collapse of it and still keep a secret and blend you back together and resurrect this, and still choosing not to choose like which one of you I want, even after getting recognized for a third party. It could be that too. So again, I'm just trying to put all the options out here, and you take it how it resonates for you. That's where your intuition comes into play in these readings. Like, I can tell you all the different ways that I feel it, and you got to decide how it fits you. But let's take a look at this person's most likely actions toward you as we move through the end of February and into March 2025. What are their most likely actions toward Gemini, please? Making me dig for one again. Just making sure there was nothing else. That felt funny. Jeez. Answering my questions now. Underlying their most likely actions. Knight of Swords. Again, fastest knight in the deck, rushing forward, making this really decisive action on something that I did not think through first. I just did it. I didn't think about it until after it was too late. And okay, like, the tower collapses. It's too late at that point to think about it. But that's when they go into deep thought, deep contemplation, looking inside themselves. But that's because they want to overcome some problem. Yeah, they took an action they shouldn't have taken, didn't think about it. They just reacted to being not fully content, not fully happy. They had someone else on their mind. Ten of Swords. Same exact order we saw it in last time, and you've seen me shuffle this at least 3 times since then. At least 2 times since then. Right behind that Ten of Swords is the Six of Pentacles, Taurus energy. This is sometimes balance, but this is also the merchant giving to 2 different people in the physical sense. Like I said, juggling 2 people. I think they tried to rationalize their actions after they already did it. Because, like, see, this is the one that rushes off and does it. And then we got the king out here. Like, okay, oh, wait a minute. I'm thinking about it now. I'm logical and rational about it now. But it's too late because the tower has already happened. That's someone not liking the way that feels and then trying to rationalize what they did to become okay emotionally with whatever's going on. When I look at what they're most likely to do, Gemini, I get the 7 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the Hanged Man. 7 of Swords is Aquarius energy, lying, cheating, stealing, deception, sneaking around behind your back, trying to get away with something they shouldn't be trying to get away with. That's not the only meaning of the card. The other two meanings, one is self-preservation, like he steals the swords because he doesn't want to get hurt. So it can mean I don't want to get hurt. It can also mean I'm leaving something behind because he can't carry all the swords and he leaves 2 swords behind. That leaving it behind doesn't jive with everything else I've seen. What does jive with everything else I've seen, especially with these next 2 cards here, is lying and cheating and stealing and deception. And 9 of Cups is Pisces energy. This is a step backwards from the 10 of Cups where we're emotionally together and we're fully in love and fully happy. This is a step back from that. This is singles energy. This is emotionally single. It's also personal happiness, personal wish fulfillment. I'm led by my own personal happiness here. Like me, myself, and I, what I want, what makes me happy, that's important to me. And I will sneak off and do deceiving type things in order to get what makes me happy. Could even be the person that I'm cheating with, I have all that happiness tied to. I did see a couple of times this 4 of Cups here. When I'm together with you, I'm not fully content because I'm thinking about this other person, this other cup that I believe is going to lead me to my happiness and fulfillment. Well, there's my personal happiness right here tied to the sneaking around and the deception. Also notice 9 plus that 1 that they're thinking about becomes the 10, which is everyone's idealized view of what will make me happy in a relationship. I think this person has done something that they should not have done. And they're still somehow trying to figure out, how do I get past that and get you back? But what they're most likely to do is still follow their personal happiness and still put their personal happiness ahead of what makes you happy. Like putting my own personal happiness ahead of what's best for us. Like that's not right. And then I got the Hanged Man. Like this is no progress happening. Things being stuck. No forward movement is occurring here. They're just staying in this, whatever got them into the problem situation with the tower coming apart and being pushed into hermit mode. They're still stuck in that. They're not progressing here. The Hanged Man is hanging upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective, a different point of view. He's trying to figure out what has me stuck and what do I need to adjust to get unstuck so I can move forward. It's similar to the Hermit in that they're both trying to figure out, what do I do to move forward from here? The difference is in where they focus. The Hermit is focused internally. He's looking inside of himself. What adjustments do I make about me so things can move forward the way I want? And the Hanged Man is looking at things. Things are external to us. So he's looking outside of himself for what's the problem. He's looking outside of himself for what's the solution. What gets me forward, how I want to go forward. And he's not looking at himself. This is sometimes like a person who doesn't see their own role in the situation. Like, this, it's not me. It's not my fault that this has happened. This is sometimes the helpless victim. This is sometimes a person who's playing the blame game. Well, it's not my fault I cheated on you. It's your fault. Or it's that chick I cheated on you with's fault. It's her fault. You know, it's like, it's something else's fault. That it's not my fault. But what they're really stuck in and not making progress on is their behavior here. There's too much personal happiness leading the way here, and too much willingness to do sneaky deceptive shit in order to get what they think makes them happy at the moment. But this is someone who wasn't happy with what they had, and they were thinking about someone else. And now that they've taken the action already, well, now they're not happy with the consequences. And there's this other cup that if I had you back, now then I would be happy. The problem is, like, the thing I'm keeping hidden is that I was operating out of my own personal jollies here, and I'm still stuck in that mode. I haven't found what I should be looking for internally, because I'm still focused externally. That's why they can't see. That's the part that they're not seeing and that they're not facing, is the problem isn't external to them. It's inside of them. And therefore the solution isn't external to them. It's looking inside themselves. And they're in here looking, but what they're looking for is, how do I get past the collapse of this? They're not in here looking for, what adjustments do I need to make about myself so that something like this never happens again? Let's move them over a little bit. They're a little heavy. I was hoping to get you a good positive one here, Gemini, but let's at least get you some advice on how to navigate the situation you're finding yourself in with this person at the end of February, beginning of March 2025. What should you do? What should you not do? How should you play it so things work out in the way that's best for you and your own greatest good? So what's the advice for Gemini on how to navigate this, please? Okay. I think this one. I'm hoping I got that in the right order. All right. Underlying your advice. Ace of Swords. This is the sword of truth. It's the sword of clarity. It's the sword you make decisions with. Like, the Latin word that the word decision comes from literally means to cut off, as in you got all these other options. The way you make a decision is you cut all of them off until there's only one left, and there's your decision. This is also the sword you use to sever something, to cut something out of your life that's not in balance, or to sever a connection with someone. I got 10 of Pentacles right behind that. This is the combined together life, building a life together. I get this for people when they live together, when they're married, when they're engaged, when they're like really committed and going down the path toward all that stuff. This is talking about the truth. You were combining your lives together, or had already combined lives together. And that's when the Two of Pentacles comes up. The Two of Pentacles is out here, center card in their feelings, juggling two people. The Moon, that's out here in their thinking. The secret, the thing that they're hiding, was that they're juggling two people during a time when you were together. And then there's the Sun coming up right after the Moon in sequence. The Sun is the happiest card in the deck, but it's also the card that comes after the Moon. So when there's something hidden in the dark and a secret's being kept, the next step is the Sun comes up and it's not dark anymore. And now all that stuff that was being hidden gets the light shined on it. It gets illuminated. It gets exposed, and I can see it. Yeah, what's getting exposed is the other options and choices, but this is also confusion about the options and choices probably that you have here. You have a decision to make here. It's the Seven of Cups. This is usually like emotional confusion, or someone clouding things up for you so you can't see it all the way. Yeah, because if you see it all the way, then Five of Cups, like this feels like what you're supposed to do. Like the part that if you have confusion about what to do with this person, there's your answer. And this Five of Cups, the 3 cups that are spilled represents the being together has been spilled, can represent a third party is what spilled it. And the 2 remaining cups are normally sitting behind the person because they still feel the connection. and still feeling the connection is what keeps you focused on the loss of it and feeling the negative emotions of that. And here the person recognizes that the emotions that I still have left over for this person, the fact that I can still feel the connection to them, is what's keeping me focused on all that stuff. So he's dumping the cups out himself. He's freeing himself from it. I think that's how you do it. Like, that's how you do it. Because the truth of the matter, this feels like, it's talking about the truth of the matter. We were together. They were juggling somebody else. They were keeping it secret. And it all came out. If this is talking to you about the clarity that you need, that's how you free yourself from this. Is you don't wait for them to like fully be gone and just leave you alone. You dump the emotions out that you still have for them. You dump it out. That's how you actually sever the connection. Cord cutting is popping into my head for some reason. I have a lot of people, like, they typically don't leave it in the comments under the videos. They typically email me about cord cutting stuff and how I've been through all these cord cutting rituals and bought this special candle for cord cutting and did this ceremony and whatever. But the part they're not understanding is, like, again, with the Hanged Man, this is looking for the problem outside of me. Therefore, the solution to that problem must also be outside of me. So they look for things like cord cutting ceremonies or rituals, which is a thing, an external thing. They look for like cord cutting candles and crystals, and these are all external things outside of them. And they have it in their mind that there's this actual cord connecting them together. And the cord is also an external thing. And that's the problem. If I could just sever the cord, then I would be free. But the cord isn't real. It's a metaphor. The cord doesn't actually exist. You can't sever a cord that doesn't exist. There is no magic item that you can buy that's going to somehow sever the cord for you and free you from the person. That's what frees you from the person. You deciding that this is enough. Deciding that I don't deserve to be stuck in these negative feelings anymore, and recognizing with clarity the truth of the situation is that my focus on this is causing these feelings that I'm having. It's not some cord that I can blame it on. It's not some candle that's going to fix it. It's not a magic pair of scissors that you can cut the cord with, or a ritual or something like that. The real way you cut the cord and free yourself is you pick up the remaining cups yourself and dump them out. That's what frees you. Don't know who that was for. Hopefully it's not for you, but that was for somebody and had to be said. What actually came out in the advice here, Gemini, I got 6 of Cups, 7 of Wands, the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. 6 of Cups is Scorpio energy of the past. This is thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It can also represent something from the past coming back up again, or something from the past happening again, a history of something happening. It can even represent someone from the past trying to make a comeback, which I see that all over here in their intentions. Reblending us back together, reconciling, resurrection, overcoming the problem, overcoming the tower. Man, if this 5 of Cups was for you, that's even bringing more clarity, because what you focus on literally dictates what you feel. And if you're focusing on the past with that person, it causes you to feel what you felt in the past. That's where those 2 remaining cups are coming from. You keep filling them back up yourself when you think about that stuff and when you reminisce about the good times. That's opening the door. That's keeping your foot in the door so the door can't close all the way, so that there is no closure. Seven of Wands is Leo energy it's a defensive energy. I might be triggering you right now. If I am, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. That way you can free yourself. You do with it what you will. You got free will. It ain't my place to tell you what to do or to try to control what you do. It's my place to get the message and deliver the message with truth and honesty so you can do whatever you choose to do with it. But this is defensive energy. This is defending your position on something, defending your stance on something, being willing to fight to protect something that's important to you, fight to defend it, fight to get what you want, maybe even fight for the connection, fight for the past, fight for it because there's history to it. Then there's the Magician. This is the Mac Daddy Master Manifester of the deck. This is a person whose thoughts and actions shape the world around them to be in alignment with what their will desires. He's got all four aces, the 4 wands. This is about manifesting. 1111. This is you actively trying to manifest something. The thing with manifesting is it's not like, like you watch enough YouTube videos about it and they'll make it sound like manifesting is where you sit down on the couch and you wish really hard for something and you think about it with real positivity and ta-da, it just magically appears in front of you. And that's not what manifesting is. What that's called is a pipe dream. Like, seriously, sit on the couch and wish for your bills to be paid. And then at the end of the month, see what happens, because you won't have the money to pay the bills if that's all you're doing. Manifesting requires more than just thought. It requires action as well. But when we're manifesting, it's not just like a conscious activity where you sit down and choose to do it. We manifest 24 hours a day. Even when we're asleep, we're constantly putting brain waves out, and that shit gets mirrored back to us in some way. So this is like, be conscious of what you're manifesting. If you're manifesting from a place of reminiscing about just the good times, you're still going to manifest a repeat of what's already happened. And the bad times already happened too. If you're manifesting from a place of defensiveness, you're likely to manifest the thing you're trying to defend against. And if this is you actively trying to manifest something back, I hope you're looking at the facts of the matter and not just these good feelings that are left over, like the nostalgia of it. I think that it's down here deep. That 5 of Wands is relatively deep under the surface here. So this might be something that you're not consciously aware you're doing. It might be an unconscious thing. But if you're looking for a way to like let go of this, that's how you do it. You dump the cups out yourself. I just don't know that that's what you're looking for here. Which might be why the truth of that triggers somebody here. Next, I got the Queen of Pentacles. This is like a wife type of an energy. This is like the center of the home and the family. This is someone that another person builds their life around. So this could be literal wife. I did see, I think, 10 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. It doesn't have to be like legally married wife. It could just be like wife material, or trying to manifest being a wife or being the centerpiece that someone's building their life around. It could be that is the idea worth defending and protecting and fighting to get. But this person that's doing that fighting, the past is laying here behind them. It's not in, the past isn't in front of them. I got King of Wands out here too, which is Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person. It's usually someone who's charming and good looking and charismatic and fun to be around and like determined and motivated and driven. But it's also the pinnacle of the Wands suit, which is about passion and desire. So this could be someone that you have desire for and passion for. And maybe you're trying to manifest them build their life around you, but notice how they don't match. The King and the Queen of Pentacles are what do that, not King of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. The King of Wands it's the pinnacle of the Wands suit. Like I said, passion, desire, sexual energy. The wand is the phallic symbol of the deck, the male you know what, and using it to do you know what, and sexual energy and all that fun stuff. This is the pinnacle of that suit. So it's not just normal driven and motivated. It's driven and motivated by passion and desire, which is probably what led them to do this spontaneous forward movement with someone and juggling, and then, oh shit, what have I done? Let's keep it a secret. But then the secret comes out and it's like, now I'm trying to get you to take me back. But what I'm most likely to do is continue the sneaky, deceptive, self-serving, self-centered stuff that I've always been stuck in, because it's not my fault. There's something else outside of me's fault. I hope that helps. I hope I didn't trigger you. Leave me a comment and let me know. All right. See you later.